From the tiniest details to the most impressive acrobatic feats, the squirrel never fails to amaze us with its remarkable abilities. Let's explore this unique world together. Starting with this, the squirrel is a true marvel of nature. Despite being only 10 to 15 centimeters in length, they are true athletes. For example, their tail serves as a rudder during jumps, helping to control their flight. And here's another wonder of nature: squirrels can safely land from heights of 20 to 30 meters, using their tail as a parachute. Squirrels molt twice a year, but the fur on their tail is renewed half as often. It has been proven that squirrels can reach speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour. Squirrels communicate with each other through tail movements. They are also good swimmers, but their tail must remain on the water's surface. If their tail gets wet accidentally, the squirrel may drown. But that's not all. In nature, there are countless types of squirrels, each with its own unique feature. For example, some of them, known as flying squirrels, can change direction in flight, just like real pilots. Now let's talk about their diet. Squirrels are true economists, especially when it comes to winter. To preserve their reserves for the worst times, they gather up to 3,000 nuts, which become their main source of food during the winter. You wouldn't want to scare them. A squirrel can save its reserves for times when finding food becomes difficult. On average, a squirrel consumes no more than a third of its reserves during the winter. In a day, a squirrel can gather nuts from hundreds of pine cones, which it can then feed on for several months. In addition to plant food, squirrels eagerly consume bird eggs and even attack young rabbits. A squirrel consumes an amount of food in a week that equals its body weight. Squirrels cannot digest cellulose, so they feed on plants rich in carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. They are very afraid of rain and snowstorms. In the rainy autumn, a squirrel sits in its nest, eating its supplies, and can die from lack of food. But these are not all the talents of these little rodents. Squirrels are also masters of hiding. They stash their supplies in various hiding spots, but sometimes they can forget where they hid their treasures. Squirrels are very trusting, and with a little patience, you can feed them treats by hand. A squirrel's body cannot digest peanuts, so feeding them peanuts is strictly prohibited. They inhabit all continents except Australia and Antarctica. Squirrels cannot distinguish between tree branches and electrical wires, so they sometimes damage electrical wires. Squirrels have 4 front teeth that continuously grow throughout their lives at a rate of about 15 centimeters per year. Thus, we see that a squirrel is not just a small rodent. It is a true hero of nature, which amazes us every day with its unique abilities and cunning.